Hello, Adelaide Fringe Festival. How you doing? Can I get a whoop whoop? Whoop whoop. Woo! Please put your hands together for our delightful double bassist, Corey Horwood. Corey Horwood on bass. Please put your hands together for award-winning, international acclaimed blues guitarist, Cal Williams Jr.
Thank you. Way down in Columbus, Georgia, I was wishing I was back in Tennessee. Way down in Columbus, Stockade, all my friends turned their back on me. Go now if you wish to, never let it worry up your mind. I know you love another, leave me, darling, I don't mind. Many years we have rambled, many hours together we have spent. When I thought love was forever, but I know now it was only then. Go now if you wish to, never let it worry up your mind. I know you love another, leave me pretty darling, I don't mind. We have rambled, many hours together we have spent. When I thought love was forever, but I know now it was only then. Go now if you wish to, never let it worry up your mind. I know you love another, leave me pretty darling, I don't mind. And I know you love another, leave me pretty darling, I don't mind. And I know you love another, leave me pretty darling, I don't mind. Thank you. Welcome to Mississippi and Georgia Blues. And it's very exciting. this is the last show of the whole season, actually. So we'll actually be setting ourselves on fire at the end of this show, actually, like kind of like Jimi Hendrix, but bodily, more or less. So it's going.
Just using all the hand sanitizer.
Yeah, that's it. Flammable. So that song was a song called Columbus Stockade. So this is by a songwriting partnership called Darby and Taunton. And the interesting thing about those two, they actually wrote a lot of songs in Georgia. But actually they kind of broke up their partnership over that song because they basically they couldn't decide who actually wrote the song. And they argued over it, and then actually worked out to be an old English folk song. So actually none of them actually owned it. So. But they never wrote again, so it's interesting. But yeah, so basically, so someone was asking about the difference between why we're doing regional, like Mississippi and Georgia, what the difference is. And so part of the difference with Georgia blues over Mississippi blues was Georgia blues was a bit more kind of folk tradition, so a lot more sort of Scottish and Irish music, so a lot more folk blues. So you had kind of different progressions. So in blues, there's a thing called the 12 bar. And for anybody that came to the Carolina and Texas show, we learned a little bit about 12-bar blues. But anybody here who knows what 12-bar blues actually is? Oh, no, 12-bar blues, yeah, okay, cool. Well, I'll explain it. Obviously, you didn't listen in the first show, anybody that came to the thing. In fact, there actually is an exam at the end of this, by the way, so, you know, no pressure. So basically, basically what 12-bar blues is, it's a common language for musicians to play with. So we basically, a lot of blues players, why you have blues jams and you don't have jazz jams or country jams or folk jams, because basically it's a language we can all relate to. So the idea is it's this universal song. So an example we talked about in the first show was Back to the Future, where Back to the Future is basically the Marty McFly character basically could play with the band back in 1955 because he could play B blues, and that's the way they can actually communicate together, type thing. But this song, Sporting Life, is actually a little bit different. There's a few more chords in it, and this is actually a jazz, kind of jazz progression, what's called 6-2-5-1. And I've banned myself from talking about jazz jokes. We got panned by a critic because I haven't made a jazz joke. It's like they're actually more sensitive than I thought. So if you want to hear that joke, you can talk to me after the show and I'll give you it. But I dare not say it ever again.
You can't joke about jazz.
We can't joke about jazz, apparently, yeah. Well, the irony is, though, basically, these two guys are jazz trained anyway, so actually it's sort of, you know, the joke was on them. I'm classically trained.
Yeah, we're not sensitive, all right?
Yes. I'm classically trained, that's why I keep a little barrier between them and me, so sort of that's, you know, that sort of thing. But we all sort of found our way to blues, and basically because blues is such a raw emotion, and we always loved it. I mean, yeah, and so we just really love playing it, so that's the whole thing about this. So this song is a song called Sporting Life. This is by Brown and McGee. Any Brown and McGee fans out in the audience? Hey, there you go. There's one Big Mama Thornton, and there's lots of Brown and McGee, so it's amazing. But basically, so Brown and McGee and Sonny Terry. So Brown and McGee was the guitarist, and Sonny Terry was the harmonica player. And they had a partnership for about 30 years. But the odd thing is they didn't actually like each other for those 30 years. It's like much like a marriage. But basically, no kidding. So basically, yeah, I think Brandon McGee was quite flashy and Sonny Terry was quite reserved, so they sort of had this sort of thing going on. But there was a good story where, so Brandon McGee had sort of polio as a kid, and so he couldn't walk very well, and Sonny Terry was blind. And they actually both liked going into whites-only bars in the days of Jim Crow laws and segregation. And so what they used to do is, when the cops saw them, to run out the door, basically what Brandon McGee would do is actually jump onto Sonny Terry's shoulders, because Sonny Terry could run, Brandon McGee could actually see, and so they direct themselves out the back door and run out around the street. And I thought that's such a lovely little partnership there, you know. So yeah, so this little song called "Sporting Life Blues."
Nowadays we have a vaccine for polio.
We do. You're right. At least that, fortunately.
That's why you don't see that kind of thing happening so often.
Well, actually, when I get really drunk, I jump on Corey's shoulders, and he actually scalps me out the door. So it does happen. So yeah. So this is a little Piedmont-style blues song from Georgia, a little song called "Sporting Life." And I'm tired hanging around, gonna marry, settle down. This sporting life, it's a mean life, it's killing me. Got a letter from my home, all my good friends dead and gone. Makes you worry, makes you wonder, the time to come. My mama used to talk to me. I was young and foolish, Brandy could not see. My mama's gone, my sister and my brothers didn't talk to me. My mama used to pray. I'm getting older each and every day. I was young, I was foolish and easy led. The Andrews Sisters, everyone. Well, I'm gonna change my ways, getting older each and every day. I was young, and I was foolish, and easy led. There's just one thing Brownie did wrong. He lived a sporting life much too long. It's no good, please believe me, live it alone. Gonna change my ways, getting older each and every day. I was young, and I was foolish, and easily led. Thank you.
So another blues grandfather came out of Georgia. It's a guy called Kokomo Arnold. Actually, his real name was James Arnold, but he wrote a great song, which is really famous, titled Kokomo, so he ended up with that name. But interestingly, he didn't write that song. He borrowed it from someone else. Scrapper Blackwell wrote this song, and Kokomo Arnold took it over. But it's a long heritage of sharing songs, because this song Robert Johnson took on and changed the lyrics to, so that became Sweet Home Chicago. So yeah, you can see blues is full of plagiarism. Perhaps it wasn't called that at the time, but
Homage.
and that's what we're doing. You know, we're sharing the music with you, avoiding copyright. So anyway, we'll try and change it a little bit. shine on, the sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you always shine on. Now tell me, pretty mama, which way do that red river run? It reaches from the Atlantic Ocean right down to the rising sun. There's a big boat, she's up the river, sitting way out on a bank of sand. If that boat don't soon strike the water, might as well she'll never land. Come on now. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you always shine on. One more time. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you always shine on. Now that river, she's got it rising and spread it all over the land. She reaches from Memphis right down to the docking den. Now my woman, she's got a mouth like a lighthouse on the sea. Every time she smiles, she throws a bright light over me. All together. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you'll always shine on. Everybody now. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you always shine on. Here, Cal, have a sip. Now my woman, she's up the river, and Lord knows she won't come down. And I pray to my soul, my good girl is what about. 'Cause my woman, she's got a mouth like a lighthouse on the sea. Every time she smiles, she throws a bright light over me. Oh yeah. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. And where you shining, you'll always shine on. Shine on, sweet harvest moon, shine on. shine on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to be MT's going to sing this tune.
And yeah, this is a song, a big song actually, a big song by Ma Rainey. Are we familiar with Ma Rainey?
No.
No. Well, she actually invented the blues. She was one of the first early performers to use the word blues, and also to bring blues music into the minstrel show, which was how music got disseminated. Like, we didn't have the internet back then. Can you imagine? Yeah, some of you can. Ma Rainey also is known for having written and performed the first lesbian anthem, and she was openly bisexual and actually was put in jail for holding an indecent party one night. All women.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
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 Well, you have, yeah. We all know that. Okay, we all have, yeah. Bessie Smith bailed her out the next morning. So Bessie Smith, you're familiar with Bessie Smith? Okay, so Ma Rainey really brought her career to the shore, because Bessie Smith was hanging around, and Ma Rainey was her mentor. When she died, Ma Rainey was listed on her death notice as a domestic worker, which is possibly why you've never heard of her, because that was completely untrue. She had a long career in show business, and she invented the blues, and she also managed several venues in her retirement, so she certainly wasn't a domestic worker. So we'd like to invite you to hum along with us. You can hum without anyone knowing. It's not illegal. You just have to hold your lips together. So can you give me a hum? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, this is going to be good. And we want to strip back this song so that we can hear your humming. So at the end, we're going to drop out our instruments. And don't be afraid. We want you to bring up your volume. So when I do that, that means get louder, yeah? Okay, so I'm going to teach you the hum part. It goes like this.
We'll have an indecent party after this as well, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
to be clear.
It's all worth it. Pretty good. Beautiful. That was a long one. So if you got anything to get off your chest, anything's annoying you, just let it out here. With me now. My jumping into the sea. When my dad is there late, he don't care a thing for me. Let me hear hum. And if you can't find it, grind it. Jumping into the sea. That's how bad I felt. Oh, I felt like going to the mountain and jumping into the sea. When my dad is there late, he don't care a thing for me. Let me hear you humming, people. Daddy, please come home to me. Oh, daddy, please come home to me. I'm on my way, crazy as I can be. Thank you.
All right. So we'll do one more tune of this set, and we're going to have a little short break. And you can go grab a beer, one of the famous WHEATY beers. Absolutely amazing. And this is a little guitar I'm playing. It's called a resonator guitar. So the idea of the resonator is it resonates beyond the amplification. So before the days of electric amps, you basically had a resonating cone. So this is what this cone thing is basically there. And so basically the sound would go around there and basically come out at you. So Kev, if you can just turn the volume off from there, sir. So you can still get that sound, even if there wasn't plugged in, basically. So, and the idea was it basically compete with other instruments in the orchestra and bands and stuff like that, so you can actually make it louder. So the guitar I came in with, this one here, is made out of an old chicken shed door, literally. So.
Anyone from 5031 here?
So there's a code.
Yeah.
So basically, this is made out of an old galvanized iron chicken shed. So the idea is that basically it resonates through, and it's actually got an old British shovel handle for a bridge in there as well. And yeah, actually the chicken still lives inside there. Her name's Gordon, and yeah, she still gives me fresh eggs every morning, which is nice. So, which is nice. Free range. I let her out in the night time, so yeah, do the right thing. And this one's actually made. This is actually another recycled guitar. And actually, when Don Morrison came to actually get this or make this guitar, he was looking at my shed, and I kind of expected to wake up in the morning with a guitar-shaped hole in my shed. I've actually got a copper one as well. We actually used to get water heaters from people's houses, and then the deal was that he would remove the water heater if he could keep the copper, and so he'd make a copper. So I've actually got a copper ukulele and a copper guitar as well made up from that as well. It's actually, they're too hot to touch. They never actually cooled down from the water heater, so I've never played them. I just look at them. They're very warming, so it's very nice. So it keeps the heat. So I'm going to play a little song by Blind Boy Fuller. This is a little song one of my favourite Georgia players, and this is a song called Statesboro Blues. Did I say Blind Boy Fuller? I meant Blind Willie McTell. Anybody who's watching on that screen is, oh my god. So you don't get your blind blues musicians mixed up, or you're dead. It's even worse than jazz reviews, but that's it. So this is a little song called Statesboro Blues, and this is Statesboro, Georgia. And the thing about these location things as well is when the UK blues scene came along and they started looking for these blues players back in the 60s, they used to use the place names to actually find the blues players. So that's how they actually found Blind Willie McTell through Statesboro Blues. And he lived in Statesboro, Georgia. So anyway, this is a little song, and we're going to do this one, the last song of the set. If you want to, in the break, we've actually got a mailing list. If you want to put your name on that orange folder there, we'll give you a blues name at the end of the gig as well. Official blues name, should I say? So, Statesboro Blues. Won't you wake up, mama, turn the lamp down low. Wake up, mama, turn the lamp down low. Have you got the nerve to try pop myself in your door? The ain't last about it didn't stop. See the color fine when they get the boiler hot. Look over in the corner, mama, hand me my traveling shoes. You knew about that, I got the Statesboro Blues. My mama died, left me reckless, left me wild. Mama died, left me reckless, then left me wild, wild, wild. Ain't good looking, some woman's angel child. Mama tell your auntie, auntie tell your cousin, cousin tell your brother, brother tell your sisters. Look over in the corner behind me, my traveling shoes. Knew about that, I got them Statesboro Blues. Won't you wake up, mama, turn the lamp down low. Wake up, mama, turn the lamp down low. Have you got the nerve to drop out myself in your door? The ain't last the banner, it didn't stop. See the color fine when they get the boiler hot. Look over in the corner, mom, hand me my traveling shoes. Know about that, I got them Statesboro Blues. Know about that, I got them Statesboro Blues. Look over in the corner, Grandpappy had them too. We're going to have a short break, and we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you, thanks.